let's turn the page to some college football. And when you see the guy at the far side, you know we're going to be talking about Georgia Tech at some point. Chase Lane back in the building, former superstar wide receiver for the Yellow Jackets. So happy to have you here. How's it going so far?
It's been good. Glad to be back. I consider this almost like a second home.
Love that.
We've had some fun last season, so let's do it again.
Okay, I cannot wait to talk about Tech, but we're going to start with Georgia. The Georgia-Bulldogs, this is a team who constantly has to fight their way out of games and get in the win column, but they do so and have been doing that. Georgia-Florida game. Florida looked a little bit re-energized with their interim head coach. What do you think about that one overall?
Like you said, Georgia, they've had a lot of games where they've had to come from behind. I think 6 out of their SEC games they've had to do that. And so, they're a well-coached team. And so when you have a guy like Kirby Smart and the rest of the coaching staff that they have there, it's kind of hard to put them away. Last year we took them to 8 overtimes. And so with a team like that, you got to put them away when you can. And so they get it done time and time again, and that's just what they're going to do.
My goodness, if you are a Falcons fan and you're a Bulldogs fan, I would love to check your heart rate at all times because you need some help. You're probably stressed out a little bit. That's a team that certainly does it to you every single Saturday. But the Georgia offense, they tend to get off to these slow starts. Chase mentioned it. They have trailed late and early in all 6 of the SEC games they played. So if you like drama, the Georgia Bulldogs, they are for your home team. This fast start situation that Kirby talks about, loves for the offense to get out to a fast start. They're not doing that. Why?
That is the $10,000 question because the play calls look like there just comes up to a couple of third downs. They haven't been converting. I think the silver lining is they're well coached, so they become a different team in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, they get the third down conversions. In the fourth quarter, they get the touchdowns they need. In the fourth quarter, they get the defensive stops that they need. Obviously, Kirby Smart wants this thing to be fixed, but at some point, we're getting towards the end of the season. Maybe this is just the makeup of who this team is for whatever reason, and it's okay. It's just, as a Bulldog fan, you used to have things pretty much in order, and now you have to hold on until the end to find out.
Yeah, I know. It's frustrating to watch them go up and down, but look, if they're getting wins, that's about as consistent as you can be in college football. It's just when you're getting to the playoffs, that's when you really start to worry about whether or not they can actually withstand 4 quarters against someone else. Their defense, they've had a lot of issues this season. Chase, if you want to take this one. Florida tended to exploit a lot of the issues that they had defensively. What did you notice about that side of the ball? Like
you said, they came in re-energized, and so when you were dealing with a coaching change midseason, it's not easy for anybody to do that.
I know.
And so, like you said, they exploited them in a lot of ways. Over the middle passing game, seams are open, and so but a team like that, you have to find anyway. A team that doesn't have a lot of flaws, you really have to do a deep dive when you're watching film and try to find those little nuances that you can pick up on and see where you can make plays. And so I felt like Florida did that. They came up short, but that kind of gives us ammunition going forward. So
the injuries too, you're going to have to pay attention to that for the Dogs defensively. If you want to say anything about that.
You have a big fella go out, and they're starting to. They've been in a place where Georgia's had injuries early, people came back, now they're injuries late. The explosiveness, I think, of the offense is in question. You just want to see how much more often early in games they can be. But now that you have an injury on the defensive side of the ball and you're still trying to get to the quarterback, that's the biggest thing to me. You can't get the sacks that Kirby normally is getting, and hopefully that'll come the next 3 weeks for the Dogs.
All right, we'll see what happens for the Bulldogs.